So, started up Star Wars Jedi Survivor again.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. This isn't the what have I been playing recently, but just...
No, that's fine. Yeah, you can talk about video games on this podcast about video games.
Whoa. New concept. No, I decided to start up a new file on Grandmaster.
Ooh.
I know. I just beat the Rancor on the first planet.
Oh. So that took you 12 hours?
Technically second. It took me about an hour of slamming my head into the wall over and over. I got so close a couple times and then finally finished it. I was like, yes, this is going to be a successful run of Grandmaster. I did beat the Night Sister that first test boss fight without taking any damage. I felt very good about that. Just was a parrying fiend.
What, do you have a mouthful, Marcus? Love? Can you say that into the microphone for me? Yeah, I know. Say that. Yeah. Say it out loud.
Say what
into
you're
the microphone.
texting us.
Tell me. Say what you have in your mouth. You have a mouthful of what?
He's being so stubborn. People who talk with their mouth full deserve the 10th level of hell. I disagree. As long as you do a polite covering of the mouth, it should be fine.
You could just say what you're eating.
I was eating peanuts.
Yeah, I know.
Peanuts seem like they'd be inoffensive.
The word peanuts with your mouth full of peanuts.
Because it would sound like penis?
It would sound like penis.
These are the kind of jokes you're making.
Like you're any
What do you all think are the worst foods to have in your mouth while trying to talk?
As far as communicating, or as far as
just as far as gross out sounds and visuals. I'm thinking, I agree with spaghetti.
Spaghetti
that's a bad one. Salad, I feel kind of is a gross one because the oiliness of the dressing kind of
it can be crunchy too. Yeah.
Oatmeal, that's just gonna be a sound, maybe not a visual. It's already paste.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, as long as everyone keeps their mouth closed when they're eating, I don't really notice or care what it is.
Oh, right.
What gets me is people who snap their gum drives me insane.
You mean,
I hate
bubbles.
Oh, I do that. Oh yeah, I do that all the time. I play with my
I don't
gum.
even know what that is.
You've heard someone snap their gum.
You blow a mini bubble, pop it back into your mouth, and then pop it in your mouth, and it makes a louder snap sound, than trying to blow a huge bubble.
Yeah, I hate that.
Well, I was trying to bring us around to a list of foods that would be gross in the mouth to get to eggs, but we'll just use this as the transition.
Egg salad the other day.
Oh yeah? Ooh, tell me about an egg salad, because I had a horrible egg salad a couple weeks ago.
From where?
It was just from one of the local grocery stores, delis. They did the bread was very it was that kind of white bread that immediately sticks to the roof of your mouth.
Oh, yeah. That's the best
and then
kind.
The yellowness of the egg salad led me to believe that there would be mustard in it. It was just the yolk, and it was a sweet mayo that they had used. No relish, no pickles, no other seasonings. It was just this sweet mayo, a little bit of salt, and egg mixture.
So real bread and butter.
It was super gross. I had to put a whole bunch of yellow mustard on the plate and dip the sandwich to make it palatable.
That one episode of Futurama where Fry has the egg salad from the gas station, and then I've always been the sketchier the place is and they have egg salad.
Yeah, oh yeah, I have no fear.
I've
overcome I've never had a bad experience with that. I eat gas station and Walmart level sushi all the time, and
I've
fine.
seen the Walmart sushi. I just haven't bought it out of
the first time I ever had sushi. I got it from a Meijer.
Hey, I eat at least the veggie one. They have too much crab and imitation crab stuff, and I have to stay away
gives
from.
Me the worst farts.
Well, I just can't eat it because sometimes they still use actual
real
crab juice and
mollusk bits,
which is really fucking stupid.
No, so you live in the Midwest now, Mike. So have you had the Jell-O and boiled egg salad yet?
What?
It's like a salad you'll see sometimes at church functions and anytime you have old people congregating, but it's like a Jell-O. It's like Jell-O salad, but with boiled eggs mixed in.
What is Jell-O?
What is it? It's
what is Jell-O?
What
is Jell-O salad? Just is that
I've had Jell-O salads. I've had ambrosia. I've
No, this is like a savory.
yeah,
Jell-O
I've
salad.
had like a savory Jello
Oh.
salad back in Oregon for church functions when I was a little kid, and there'd be like ham and stuff in it.
Yeah.
I have not seen this Jello egg unholy union that you speak of, but my eyes probably just glaze over it, like trying to stare into a void. Like there's
Yeah,
no
it's a smart
information to
option.
take in, so they just pass by without recognition.
Yeah, the rule of thumb at any church or Midwestern, or we'll just say Lutheran church function is to
Calling out
just
the Lutherans.
find the one lady who has like a tiny itty bitty bit of ethnicity to her, and eat her mac and cheese, and don't eat anything else.
Sure. Oh man, I had a really good mac and cheese at the event. It wasn't like it was
The
a mac and
event?
cheese. Yeah, at this catering event I had to do over
The
the
event
weekend
horizon.
here. Yes, that we were talking about off mic.
We don't talk about the event.
No, yeah, it was one of the other restaurants in the area. She's a phenomenal person, anyways, but she made this like mac and cheese soup, and it was this like
Interesting.
good bechamel base, like cheesy, soupy, like a little thinner than like a mac and cheese sauce would be, but not so thin that it was broth like. It had good bacon, and she put some like goldfish crackers as a crouton on top, and some scallion. It was very much like church function mac and cheese grade, but it was so delicious.
Yeah, I speaking of weird things, like I went to one of these things.
He was not
once,
saying
and
that.
there
He
was
was saying it was good.
well, I mean, the goldfish thing.
The
I guess
goldfish.
I was
Oh no,
thinking.
that was very weird.
No, it's not.
With the goldfish, but it was delicious. It
You
hit
never put
good.
goldfish in your like tomato soup?
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Are you a found
Into-
are you a dolphin man? Is that what you are? You're a fan of the,
Dolphin man?
they have the dolphins.
What?
Dolphins?
So the other
There's-
brands, they're not going to do goldfish because they legally can't, but they're going to do another sea creature. So there's
I
dolphins and
gotta
whales.
be
Wow.
honest. I've never seen another brand try to do a fish-based cracker.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't. I think I just generally don't like any cheesy, hard snack thing. Anytime with like your cheese is just kind of like a shelf-stable powder.
You don't like
I don't-
Cheez-Its?
I was gonna say, what
I don't
about
like
Cheez-Its,
Cheez-Its.
man? Whoa.
I don't like. I don't like.
can go
I
fuck
don't
with
like
that.
Cheetos.
You don't
I don't
like-
like.
what about
cheesy
the
puffs.
jalapeno
Holy
Cheetos?
shit!
No,
How are we friends?
they're
Combos?
gross. I just
Do you like combos?
Combos are just dog food for humans. Combos are dog treats for humans. Like it's literally, my dogs have the same treat.
But no, like I just don't like that cheese powder stuff they put on stuff. I'd rather not eat that. I mean, like I like chips. I just don't want to deal with.
You're never gonna do like a cheddar and sour cream ruffle.
What's like the Swedish Lay's?
I like a sour cream
exclusive.
and onion.
Is it just what's like the Swedish Lay's exclusive y'all got? Or the
Well, we don't
Doritos?
have. We have like. There's like
Just
two
fish.
brands. There's the only potato chip that's like unique to Sweden is what we call grilled chips, which are
Oh,
kind of like
grilled.
they're not
grilled cod. It's just grilled
They're
cod.
they're fish. They're chips that meant to go with barbecuing, like and it's like it's kind of like lazy barbecue flavor, like not lazy, but like ineffective barbecue
Much
flavor.
like a Lay's mesquite barbecue.
No, less sweet and more like MSG, I guess is what I would say.
Okay.
It's not terrible, but it's not. I don't know. As I've gotten older, my appreciation of potato chips tends to focus on just plain potato chips more and more. I find that the flavor dustings just get in the way.
What about? Do you fuck with salt and vinegar or no?
Yeah, I like a salt and vinegar chip. I like a salt and vinegar.
Love a salt and vinegar. Main problem with the salt and vinegar that we all know, though, you're gonna find out about every little cut in your mouth that you didn't know you had.
Yeah,
It's got that good burn.
I mostly find it around like it's like the chapped lips. In
Oh
salt and
yeah,
vinegar chips. That's the problem.
Sure.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
I love like what is that malt vinegar on the French fries?
Oh
I
yeah.
wish that was, because I think around here, like Five Guys is the only place that's gonna offer that.
There was a place in the mall way back in the day when we were in high school that was just like a fry place.
I
And
don't
you
even
get
know
like
if that
those
mall still
cone of
exists.
shoestring fries, and they always had malt vinegar for
Huh.
it.
Patrick Henry still exists.
Yeah, it does actually. I went there.
Hmm.
Don't tell people where I live, Arvid. We get assassinated.
Yeah. You're a
For,
high
like,
value
for the
target for sure.
extremist views.
Mm-hmm.
When I went there over like right before Christmas, it was kind of sad though. There was a rock store That did show up.
Didn't know you were allowed to be in the mall over 30. I thought you immediately just got arrested.
They did.
No.
They're like, what are you doing
All those
here,
malls
bud?
have to have those tiny little shops that sell fucking like tchotchkes and like.
Well, that's
Hallmark
no,
store
you're
type
right.
shits.
If you're not in like a sharper image, then they start suspecting
No, I
you.
did not actually see a Hallmark store. There was like 3 different candle stores
Yeah.
and like 4 different lotion stores.
That fucks with my sinuses so bad. I hate
Yeah,
those
no,
places.
I stand and I just like hold my breath.
I also hate like how all the department stores back in the day, you had to walk through the perfume section.
Yep.
It just, oh God. As someone with very bad allergies,
Well, that's how they sell
ruined my life.
it. You can't smell it. They're not going to sell it.
Yeah, but like at the same time, like I'm a 14-year-old kid carrying my box of Warhammer through the Dillard so I can get to the Games Workshop. What makes you think I want to buy Estee Lauder? You know, like fuck off.
Also made it impossible to stealth buy perfume as a gift for my mom for any like Christmas or birthday because I'd come back smelling of perfumes.
Yeah.
The game was up immediately. That was my go-to gift for years. Years as a kid. Red Door, I think it was called.
Red Rum?
Door.
I think it was called Red Door
Red Door sounds like
by Lynch.
either.
Red George?
It sounds like exactly. It sounds like either shitty whiskey or really good gin.
I love that movie,
I was
Shitty
gonna
Shitty
say
Whiskey.
It's the new Stephen King.
The Red Door. I don't know.
Yeah, it's some kind of mystery box
100%.
perfume
There's
for sure.
there's a book called The Red Door.
Oh,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I bet there's a Nancy Drew called Nancy Drew in the Case of the Red Door.
Curse of the Red Door.
The Rise of the Red Door, The Return
Yeah.
of the Red Door,
the
Escape from the
Boxcar
Red
Children
Door.
and the Red Door.
Oh, there's an
Yeah.
Insidious movie.
There is an Insidious. I haven't seen that one yet, but yeah.
Oh, it's pretty recent, 2023.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a prequel to the other ones, if I remember.
How many times are they going to do that?
As many as they can, I hope.
The
Those
Insidious
are
expanded
delightfully
universe
stupid
is-
horror movies.
Got out of it, yeah. Because I liked them when they first started coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did the, I can't remember what it was called, the house one, when they're in their own house, and then, like, the teenage girls let out the demons, and they have, like, the little... But it was, I think it's, like, Homecoming, maybe? Or is that the Spider-Man?
I mean, there is a Spider-Man called Homecoming. It takes place during Homecoming. And also, it's Spider-Man's first full-length movie done by Marvel. So it's a homecoming for the character. It's very meta. It's big brain stuff. You wouldn't necessarily understand.
Also,
It's very
Michael
deep.
Keaton's in it.
And Michael Keaton's in it.
Oh, so I have to derail us for a second. So we put our episodes up on YouTube in case anyone didn't know that. And
We do?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And I
forgot.
and the videos. I mean, it's just the audio with the thumbnail, nothing fancy. But I guess YouTube does something automatically with the transcripts, and there's a section called like people featured in this video.
Whoa.
Or this, and it's just us, just the name of people like we name drop in over the course of an episode. So
it says featuring Michael Keaton when we talked about Batman.
yeah, exactly.
That's great.
Some of these are pretty interesting. So let's see if I can get some of these before
I like that enough that we should just start doing that in the show notes to every episode.
The thing that I find interesting is that they are selective about which ones they put in the people mentioned section. So, like in the Case of the Golden Idol episode, I listed off several of the names of people who were voice actors in Fallout New Vegas because we were talking about the show, and I said Matthew Perry, I said Renee Aubergenois, I said Dave Foley, and I said Felicia Day. Mm-hmm. And of those four, only Felicia Day is one of the ones that are people mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we briefly mentioned Lucas Pope, the developer of Oberdin, who is one of the people mentioned, and Jacob Geller, who we did briefly mention. But Jacob Geller's picture is the wrong guy.
Cool.
So, I mean, it's the right description. It's just very weird. Yeah, but I was trying to figure out if there's if we could find a person that was been most mentioned, because they also seem to like do a minimum of 3 people. Like sometimes there's more. Like the one episode, there's like
Brad
8 people we
Pitt.
mentioned somehow.
Oh,
I think it might actually be Jack Black. Also, like we mentioned Skyrim Grandma, and I don't know if we actually said Shirley Curry because that's her real name.
Yeah.
But YouTube lists her as a person mentioned in one of our episodes.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So I'm glad that
Yeah, she's
Skyrim
the fucking
grandma's-
Skyrim goat.
she's on the same level as Val Kilmer. Also, apparently we mentioned DMX in an episode. Do you remember mentioning DMX? I don't think we did.
I feel like
Oh, for
maybe.
sure. For sure.
I mean, I feel like we've referenced the work of DMX. I don't know if we've mentioned DMX himself.
I don't know.
It's all a psyop, man.
I know we've done quotes. Yeah.
YouTube is just
YouTube's an op.
pulling a Big Brother.
Sure.
We actually have mentioned Tom Clancy in at least 3
Oh, yeah.
episodes, which is an interesting thing.
Well, we
So
are
first-
middle-aged white men.
Call it 4 now.
Yeah. So this is the last thing I'll say about this. Through our aberration analyst episode, for whatever reason, there's 14 people mentioned
Oh,
in our
shit.
people mentions thing. Normally it's like 3 or so. The people mentioned in this episode were Eddie Murphy, Judge Reinhold, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, James Cameron, Tom Clancy, Harrison Ford, Alec Baldwin, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Klaus Kinski, Judi Dench, Leonardo DiCaprio, Quentin Tarantino, and Adam Sandler. And I don't know what the fuck we were talking about when we just in an
Interesting.
episode where we said all of those
Yeah,
names.
Interesting.
I don't even know how that happened.
No, I have no idea.
Like,
Fascinating.
Because I think that one was just you and me, Arvid.
yeah.
I
So
know
what the fuck were we
sometimes-
talking
sometimes
about
you
that
and I
we
will
we
talk about
just
movies for a little bit when that happens.
I guess we just
I guess it
named
made
all
it
the
in.
people presenting at the Academy Awards that year or something like. All right, but speaking of useless things that happen,
Who's
a
the
lot,
most
Eggs.
egg-shaped
Eggs are useless.
eggs?
superhero?
Yeah. Wait, what?
So who's the most egg-shaped superhero?
That would be superhero. I was gonna say MODOK, like, is the most egg-shaped person
Well, I mean,
from
there's-
comics.
I mean, there's Nanny in The Orphan Maker, and Nanny is literally an egg
Oh, well, there you
with
go.
eyes.
Oh,
So I mean, she's a bad guy though. She's like she kidnaps babies, so not.
I think
a good guy.
I think you would have a hard time finding an egg-shaped superhero because so many comics body shame and put people who sit outside of the norm of a healthy
Is
body
Kirby a hero?
into.
There is that
Kirby's not a superhero, by the way.
there is that game for the Amiga where you were an egg, and you just kind of jumped around. It was like a really crappy,
Eggs?
not crappy,
Eggs?
simplified platformer.
I don't remember that, but it's making me think of the 7-Up game.
Dizzy. Dizzy the egg. Very similar art style to the game that we played this week.
Oh, there we
Just-
go.
Egg Squisher. No, Egg Squeeze.
Egg
Yes, this
Squisher.
is- welcome to the Save State. This is a podcast where we talk about a video game, and we decided to play Egg Squeezer.
No, egg squeeze.
Just egg squeeze.
Egg Squeeze.
Egg squeeze.
Egg Squeezer is the
me.
sequel.
Oh.
That's it. Roll credits.
That's it. That's all we have on this. We played Egg Squeeze.
I was kind of expecting it just to be the game from that episode of I Think You Should Leave, and then they just made it into an actual game. But it isn't that. Although it kind of could have been sometimes.
Sure.
I don't know.
Well, the goal of this game is not to crack the egg.
Correct. Starts off simple, stays very simple, but they add a few things as they
Ends
go.
very simply.
Ends
that
very
don't matter.
simply.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have it's a variable timer for how long you hold down until the egg will crack.
Yeah.
And you get scored at different like lengths as far as how close you can get. Who got that 99%?
I did.
Oh yeah, I did several times.
Only got it once, and it was like literally my game-ending squeeze
Oh, nice.
because it was just like I had so many multipliers on at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just a game where you squeeze an egg. The goal is to squeeze the egg as much as possible by holding down the click button and letting go right before, like, as close to the breaking point of the egg as possible.
There is no indicator on when.
Yeah. It's just kind of, you have like feedback from like audio cues that kind of maybe make you feel. I don't think that I don't think in any way those things affect the squeezability of the egg, but that is the only feedback you get while you are squeezing the egg.
So they start to put in different add-ons onto the screen. So you start getting like there's a chat room, like there's a live stream. You get this like egg sensor that's like a sonar that like spins around with a number. And I try to figure out, is it the number that's telling me like the resistance strength of it? Is it how fast the sonar is moving and spinning, because that little sweep changed speed per squeeze? There's a egg stock market. There's like a little egg war mini game where they all clash into each other until they disappear. There's an egg ping pong thing that you can do where you can move your mouse up and down while you're squeezing to, I think, get some bonus points for your multiplier. Hard to say. Everything's very hard to say in it. As you go on for the later one, you get this sanity meter. I never went insane.
You never went egg sanity?
I never went fully insane, because what I'd do as soon as I'd get into the red line, I would just like early
squeeze drop,
unsqueeze my egg until I got myself back up to full sanity.
I never went insane either.
Dang,
but
I'm the only one.
I'm a coward, I guess.
Yeah. Did any of you? So occasionally you'll get like an investor call in the final third round where they say like you have to hit a certain target. Did any of you take that deal, and did you do it?
Regretted it, because mine was like 80 something. It's like, I got like a 70. And I was like, oh no, that would have been totally fine on like a normal run.
Yeah, I tried it 2 different times and could not get the target goal like either time. Like both times I tried it, it was one of those eggs that you could squeeze for like almost 10 seconds.
Oh,
so like 5 seconds in, I was like, I barely even got to half.
Nervous,
Like, I started to get nervous.
I was trying to for a while, trying to see if there was like some kind of like pattern, and there almost is. Obviously, you're going to start with your initial time. Your next time is either going to be more or less than the last one.
Yep.
And if you have one that's more, the next one's going to be less. And then it's going to be more again, and it's going to be less again.
I never had that. I would have it sometimes be like more, and then less, like 3 seconds.
I was tracking that, and like the only thing that you could really get lucky on was if you had like it go down to a less one, and a less one was like 850. You're like, oh, I know I can hold this for 9 seconds, and I'm probably going to be pretty. But then randomly, it would just mess up the little pattern and then go back. And then I just gave up after
Gave up trying to find a pattern very early on, and then I just
kind
of just went with the vibes. And
did you ever like close your eyes and try and feel it? That's what I did. That's what I went to.
Is that when you got the 99?
That's when I got the 99.
Is 99 the highest? Is there 100?
100.
I guess it just breaks.
I think 100 is a broken egg.
Yeah, so 99's a perfect. Interesting. Yeah, I got 99 twice. I got like a 95 or something once. 98. Not often, though. Most of my stuff was solidly in like the 50 to 80%. Like, yeah.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So at the end, you are confronted by basically a G-man. Yeah. Did you accept the offer or reject it and escape?
Oh, I snake Plissken. I set the world back to 0.
Really?
Yeah.
I escaped and then chose the option to let me rule the world.
I escaped and then I crushed my cartoon egg friend and then destroyed the sun.
So whoever wins, I would say like there's like a kind of a cookie clicker vibe to this, where it's just kind of like this is the one thing that becomes the entire world for some reason, where like cookie clicker is like the entire galaxy of capitalist cookie production, and then this game is like somehow the world economy is run by eggs, which I guess is just kind of like
true.
Click based like satire. I don't know.
There were a lot of egg puns.
The big thing I took away from this game was that it made me miss Flash even more than I usually do, just because this is the kind of, I mean, it's like $3 on Steam or whatever. It's not that big of a deal, but like, there was a time when this would have been just a fun thing that ended up on the front page of Newgrounds or whatever, and it would have been passed around. Everyone would have had a fun time, and a lot of people would have played it. And on one hand, it's a good thing because like a lot of Flash game makers didn't make any money. It was just something you had to do because you wanted to do it, and it was fun. On the other hand, there was always like a ton of fun little creative things like this that were just sitting there free to play. And now like you kind of have to charge money for your game, even if it is just a little fun thing, because I honestly think that it doesn't get taken seriously if you just make a free game.
Yeah.
And also there's like a cash investment, like in order to get it onto storefronts and places in front of people, you have to like spend money. Like Steam, I think it's like $200 to list your game on Steam.
You also get your money back after a certain amount of sales.
Yeah, if you get a certain amount of sales. But if you're just like, I want to make a game about squeezing eggs, I don't know if you're necessarily thinking you're going to make that money back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess like ideally I'd like a situation where I can get games for free and the guys who make games can get paid. And
That's not how that works.
that's not how that works.
Well, they're called mobile games, and you have to watch ads.
Yeah, but then that's not free, is it? I'm just
It is
dedicating
technically free.
brain waves. No, it isn't, because like I'm spending something else, and that's time and thoughts.
Well, yes,
which is more
I
precious
guess.
than money.
I mean, you're spending time when you play a Flash game too.
I'm experiencing time when I play a Flash game. I am spending time when I watch an advertisement for HelloFresh for the 800th time.
Are
this
those
week.
things still around, or did they collapse?
HelloFresh?
Once the
A lot of them
COVID
did, and then
Yeah.
HelloFresh bought all of them.
Oh my god!
So
Yeah.
they're kind of.
I hate those things so much because they turned everyone I knew into just being like, I could have worked in the kitchen too, Marcus.
Right.
I know some things, and then like they're just confidently terrible cooks.
I haven't encountered anyone who has done that, but I just they scare me. Like the concept of like, you don't get to pick your food. The food comes to you in a box, and you have to eat what's in the box.
Well,
It feels like
they pick it.
Yeah, you have like a
know.
list. You'll be like, here's your veggie options. Here's your it's a bundled pack.
You know who
but it'll
does
be
that?
Like, here's,
Hospitals,
yeah,
prisons.
Oh no, it
Like,
is
I don't-
100% like a convalescent center's meal. Like even if it's a nicer meal, it's still nursing home quality.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with that shit.
We're not getting
I don't-
HelloFresh to advertise for us, so I'm fine saying that. HelloFresh can go fuck.
Yeah, I just don't like the idea of it. I think it's also like, I don't know, like the idea that like you could just, everyone can go to the grocery store and buy food, or everyone can have a box full of other little boxes with food delivered by different people to their door.
Yeah, that's literally why I was like, did it collapse once COVID was over? Because I feel like
Yeah, exactly.
was its
A lot of,
only
I mean, even the
opportunity.
successful ones.
Older people are still doing it.
I bet.
Yeah, older people are
people
rocking with
suck.
HelloFresh, so they
I
don't
bet
have to
they're
go to the
huge
stores
in
often.
the agoraphobic community. Agoraphobic?
Oh yeah, agoraphobic. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's big. in it.
I don't know, because like here at least we have like grocery stores that'll deliver to your house, and that's like always been the agoraphobes.
Well, I guess we have Uber Eats
Things.
and stuff. We'll do that.
Yeah, I mean we have TaskRabbit stuff here that'll bring groceries. Sometimes I do that.
Organized, like the grocery stores have their own vans that'll come around and like deliver food.
The
And
Amazon one
that's-
does.
Yeah, but from
The Whole Foods.
Amazon. Oh right, Whole
Yeah.
Foods. I forgot that.
They'll-
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fun.
Everything's either owned by Disney or Amazon, and one day they'll be the same thing.
Oh, there's still Google and Apple, I guess.
It's all going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Google's
Google
been
doesn't
compromised.
own your grocery store.
No,
Yet.
they tried to own your internet service provider for
Yeah.
a while there.
Yeah.
There was that period where they tried to get into cable. Remember, everyone was like, "Oh, I gotta get Google cable," and they were like, "We only have it in Kansas City," or whatever the fuck.
You mean the Mecca? The Holy Land?
Yeah, apparently. Well, I was reading about this. Apparently, Kansas City is like where all companies go to test things because it's like the most middle America. So like whenever like a restaurant wants to test a new menu, it's always like they start at Kansas City
Interesting.
to try it out.
By
for the first
restaurant,
time.
you mean like McDonald's?
Yes, I
stuff like
mean
that.
fast. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Not like Gordon
Yeah.
Ramsay's.
When a
like,
pilot
"I need to
launch is being
yeah.
done, it's
Mm,
Casey.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
When the French laundrette wants us to try a new menu item, they open
Oh,
a
yeah.
stall in Kansas City.
Mhm.
Little pop up.
Yeah. No.
No, I get
So they
it.
get all like the
They get all the
fun new
cool, like,
things.
oh, McDonald's spaghetti that I'll never
exactly.
have. Is that why Cincinnati chili is a thing? Because Middle America?
No, that's just Cincinnati.
yeah, that's just
They're
them
their
being
own-
freaks.
Oh, no.
That's their own little
Just being
little touch.
sick fucks.
I honestly think it was just someone. It was like 100 years ago. Some guy got off a train in Cincinnati, and he's like, "So what's good here?" And then some guy's just like, "I don't know what'll make." It's like, "I don't know. Do something different. Do something interesting to entertain me." And the guy's just sitting there in the diner. He just starts pouring the chili onto a spaghetti. He's like, "Is this different? Is this interesting enough for you?
You like this?
This?"
I like that interpretation. I like the one where someone like was adamant that they knew what chili was, and they just didn't want to back down once they realized halfway through that this is not chili. Everyone else is right.
I did that once. In that it was not long after I moved here, and I went to go get salsa, and my Swedish wasn't very good, so I got spaghetti sauce, and then I just started dipping chips into the spaghetti sauce, and I was like, "Nah, this is just really shitty salsa," and not that I misread the label. And thought this was.
What is it still like? It's all interpreted as like a tomato-based thing. So you saw the word tomato, and
No, not at all.
I feel like the jar would give it away, man.
I don't know,
Salsa
man.
jars.
Have you seen some like spaghetti sauces that like are real thick?
Well, the
they're short.
the salsa jars don't do the short thing here. Like they're more like regular. Also, in general, like actual salsa here isn't very good. It's very mild and very watery.
Yeah, I don't think a single Hispanic person would want to go to Sweden.
No, there are. I mean, there are like actual
along the way. Yeah.
They're usually like grad students who dropped out and decided to do something else. I imagine the only reason most of them end up here. But yeah, like there are some decent taco places, but you have to like the grocery store stuff is like dire. So yeah, way game, way lame.
I mean, it's a game. I'll say that. And I'm sure
game.
it
I
was
played
just
it.
like a guy having fun in his basement who made this.
Yeah.
I will
we
say,
had fun.
like, I don't know where they got the music from. Did they score it themselves? Does anyone know? Because it is
question.
really interesting music.
It's
The
very,
art style is just, like you said,
The
very
music
flash,
did
but-
sound familiar, like you said.
Well,
It's
it
probably
reminded
some of
me
that,
of
like, free, whatever.
It could be a free thing. I just it reminded me a lot of Hypnospace, and like that style of game.
Not Frostpunk. What do they call
So
it?
the develop
Cool jazz.
the
No.
Sure. Well, like it's got a lot of synth stuff too.
No, I
Yeah.
was trying to think of the name of the music style in Hypnospace.
Oh,
it's like vaporwave, I guess.
No,
What you
there's like the whole like side dedicated to it.
right. The actual like,
the in universe genre. I forgot what that's called.
their version of Jizz.
Yeah. So there's
Star Wars.
There's several.
Music. Go ahead.
There are several composers listed for the soundtrack to Egg Squeeze, which you can buy on Bandcamp. Jesse Martin, Adam Carey, and Joe Acquiari. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly,
I don't know.
but I don't recognize any of these. Maybe these guys did other stuff. They've worked on other games, it looks like, but I don't know them. Knuckle Sandwich.
Okay. I know not of that
Same
game.
But you're right. It is a fun soundtrack. I definitely a lot of short songs. I mean, the longest track on here is 17 seconds long. So maybe don't make it your.
You don't have to
Your
rush to get
commuting
like a
playlist.
Spotify playlist going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder, 17 seconds long. So that means at most any one egg could only go for 17 seconds, or if they loop it.
No, the maximum egg is like 9
10.
something, maybe 10.
Yeah. That's what
I
it
guess
felt
that
like.
would be something I think I would have been cool. Like I know the point of this is to be weird and very focused on the weird concept, but I think it would have been kind of fun to kind of WarioWare this up a bit. Like,
Yeah, I was
maybe you
kind
have
of
to squeeze
thinking
2
that was gonna
eggs
happen.
or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 arms squeezing eggs.
Yeah, you got a
or,
left
like,
click and a
the
right
egg,
click.
Your arm turns into an egg and you squeeze a hand or something.
Whoa.
Interesting.
What
Yes.
happened to WarioWare?
Don't know.
Why don't they release the
question.
dope one for the Switch?
WarioWare.
Yeah, I don't know.
They have released one for the Switch.
Oh, yeah, I own it. That's right. I just remembered that. I bought it. I played a little bit of it, and then I was like, this is fun, but it's more fun with people to play with.
Yeah, Wario.
Uh-huh.
My friend Wario, his brother Luigi. Actually, I think Waluigi isn't Wario's brother, is he?
No, I think he's just another
He's just a guy who happens to be the counterpart to Luigi.
Yeah.
And is not related to Wario at all, despite the fact that Luigi is Wario's brother.
Well, we're going to go get into Wario lore. Let's see. Yeah, Wario, in the list of friends, Waluigi shows up nowhere for Wario.
I don't think they're actually friends.
Not even his friend.
Not even his friends. They have nothing to do with each other, as far as I can tell. Very interesting. I can't wait until they expand the Wario lore in the next Chris Pratt Mario movie.
Are they doing another one?
I don't know. Probably. Because things suck. Also, edit his name out. I don't want him getting mentioned.
Well, I think
really
we've
hate that
definitely bitched about Chris Pratt before, and he hasn't popped up. So maybe he's got like a filter on it or something.
Did I tell you all? Was I telling you all that I had to have an argument
With Chris Pratt? You'd talk him no, like, dude, shut up. Shut up, Chris Pratt.
So I went. There is a Super Mario Brothers sequel to be released in 2016, but the IMDb page lists more like this. You have
Chris Pratt?
a remake of The Cat in the Hat, an animated movie. Ice Age 6. Apparently that's a thing that's coming out.
Hell yeah, dude.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Ice
the
Age
movie,
6, Ray Romano is broke.
which I guess supposed to be like the seventh SpongeBob movie. Toy Story 5.
What?
Motel Transylvania.
Sure.
The Smurfs movie, the third Smurfs movie, I think at this point.
I know they made one. I didn't know they made a second.
They made two.
Maybe it's a second
I
one.
know there's two.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe it's a third. I don't know. Either way,
Got a real Smurfs
there's a
fan
lot
here.
of derivative.
Also, a new
animated-
Shrek is coming out.
Oh, shit. No kidding, huh? How are you feeling about that?
No one knows yet. We haven't got a trailer. It's a teaser.
Interesting.
The movie's going to end with a loving memory of, it's just going to say the guy from Smash Mouth.
Just say the guy from Smash.
Yeah. No one remembers his name.
Then they just have a picture of Guy Fieri on there.
It's close enough.
So for this Super Smash Brothers movie 2 IMDb page,
Super
it
Smash
says
Brothers
top
movie?
picks. Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh,
What-
I was about to say.
Man, Super Smash
Yeah.
Brothers would be great.
They'll save that for the third one.
It's going to be like
so
a
the
battle royale, bloody, violent movie.
So recommended watching after, like at the bottom of the IMDb page for this: Blackfish, Exit Through Gift Shop, Crocodile Dundee, Bowling for Columbine.
That is wild, and it feels much more like they know you and are trying to target things for you to watch than it is like a coherent string of movies.
I mean, I haven't seen any of the. I mean, I've seen Bowling for Columbine a long time ago, but I mean, and I've seen Crocodile
I feel
Dundee.
like I've seen
but I don't.
Blackfish. I think I've seen Blackfish. That's the whale one, right?
Yeah, it's the documentary about whale mistreatment. Like I don't want to watch that. That sounds.
Where in this does it seem like Super Mario Brothers movie is a documentary?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Crocodile Dundee, not a documentary. I don't think.
No, it's a documentary. It's a documentary about that man's life. Paul something? Like Paul Hogan?
Paul Hogan, yeah, the richest man in Australia. Not literally, but he basically financed the first movie himself, like completely. So he got like 100% of the returns
Nice.
on it.
Nice.
He was like, I think that movie made like $100 million. Like he just.
I'm sure it did, yeah.
It was at the
Probably.
height of
Made a ton
Australian
of
culture.
fucking money.
You couldn't watch any show without seeing at least one Foster's commercial. We were obsessed with Australia.
No, yeah, Outback, and then.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like everything just there's a weird period there in the '90s where everything was just very Australia focused.
Yep, everyone wanted to wear like gator lined like belts and boots and
Everyone had those hats with
croc,
the corks
I guess.
hanging off of them.
Yep. Everyone carried around a giant Bowie knife.
That's not a knife.
They drove on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Started using money with the Queen's face on it.
One of the things we say about Australia.
Bloomin' onion.
Hell yeah, dude. Do they even have?
Actually,
onions in
that
Australia?
one lasted. I still fuck with
I
a
think they
bloomin'
have
onion.
onions in Australia. Yeah. I haven't been to. I went to Outback Steakhouse once. I haven't been back. Looked expensive.
It's about as expensive as what you call it? What Wobst and Olive Garden? Aren't they all part of the same?
I know that
Conglomerate?
Olive Garden and Red Lobster were, and then they sold Red Lobster to some company in Vietnam, and then
It was a private equity group that then took all of Red Lobster. So Red Lobster used to own the real estate that the restaurant was in to reduce overhead. And so, like, if they had a slow season or something, they didn't have this massive overhead that was going to fuck them over.
a lot of places do that too. It
It's a
wasn't
very
just Red
smart
Lobster.
thing.
Like,
And what the private equity group decided to do was separate the real estate ownership from Red Lobster, and then have Red Lobster pay them rent on those buildings.
Hell yeah.
And then they tried to blame Red Lobster going under on Endless Shrimp.
yeah, same thing happened with Ruby Tuesday, and then there was some other one of those big chains where like they didn't franchise a lot, so they owned all their own buildings, and then they just a lot of restaurants going under, getting blamed on millennials is really just venture capital, just gutting
If you
real
just
estate.
type in private equity with any business that went under, it's almost always the cause. It's super cool.
But not with Eggco.
Not with Eggco.
Eggco.
Yep, they're doing their own
company you
thing.
work for as a synergizer.
Mm-hmm. Bring it back to Egg Squeeze.
Egg squeeze. Yeah. I don't know if I want to go back to egg
For a
squeeze.
brief moment, when they said Eggco,
You know what, dude?
I started thinking of Egg
I worked
Inc.
so hard to get 100 streak. No achievement.
No achievement. I got one for
fucking
like
dude.
50 or something.
For 50, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was part of me that maybe wanted to go and get some achievements, and
There's
still
still
a
like
lot.
15 or more hidden achievements. I'm assuming one's for the other ending, but I don't know. One's probably for doing the investor thing, like and making it
investor,
happen.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There is an
Oh, this is the wrong
unlimited
game.
mode, and there's
There is
also
yeah.
something in between the menu screen is a little egg carton.
Mm,
Yeah.
And the top row is the days, 1, 2, 3, and then the bottom row there's a
There's a little hidden.
unlock spot, and then
Yeah.
the unlimited play.
Yeah.
And
I like how every time we try, we veer away from the game and we talk about something else, and then I try to finish talking about the game
Then
so
we
we
go
can
right back into
actually
the
talk
game.
about something else. But then we end up talking about the game more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just it's something I noticed.
You know, that's when you know something's a true work of art, because you keep coming back to it in your thoughts. It lingers.
Yeah.
Really,
had
for
hot
me,
dog
it's
like
that I
that
played
once.
it an hour before we got on. Actually, I
Yeah,
finished
I
it
also-
about 10 minutes before we got on.
That's a good timing.
Yeah.
It keeps it fresh in your brain.
Yeah, yeah.
I also played it. I played this morning.
Mm-hmm.
In between. I guess we can merge into that. Do we want to talk about what we've been playing now?
Oh, sure.
I've been playing Final Fantasy VII
Weebo.
Rebirth, the new.
is it even
Sequel
new
to
anymore?
remake?
Or is it like
Well, it's
2
new to the play.
years old at this point?
It's new to the computer. It's like I think it's came out 6 months ago. I want to say, for the PlayStation, something like that, sometime last year, and it came out for the computer last week, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. I like it a lot. It's
Where are you?
Well, in the storyline, I'm at Junon, I guess,
Okay.
in the Final Fantasy VII thing. So far, it's open. It's very. I guess like that'd be the main thing that I'm sure a lot of people complain about, is that they have open world segments in this game, which I don't hate. They did the thing with the towers. I don't know why people still do that with open world games, where you have to like find the tower
hate
to
that
like.
shit.
I don't. The thing is, I don't even hate it as a mechanic, but I know so many people hate it as a mechanic. It just feels like you're lining yourself up for like the ball kicking machine every time you do that. Like I don't know why.
I don't even like when they do a wink to it and they'll show a tower thing and they'll be like, yeah, you don't have to climb that. I'm like, don't even mention it. Like, I just come up with something new, something different.
There are like, so you start off in Calm and then you do the flashback like you do in the main game, and then you hang around Calm. Calm's a lot bigger because they have to make it like a city you can walk
Or a
around in.
hub spot? Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's really well done. I love the attention to detail on like in all the backgrounds. I love just walking around and looking at things. I mentioned this about the first game. Like I love how they take the 3D rendered like the pre-rendered backgrounds from the original game and then build them out into these 3D spaces you can walk around in. I think they do a really good job with that. But the problem is, in open world environments, it looks exactly the same as every other open world game, because if you just make a big empty field for people to run around in and kill monsters, it looks like every other big empty field to run around and kill monsters in any other game. Like if aside from the fact that I'm controlling Cloud and his friends, this could be The Witcher, it could be Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it could be for Horizon Forbidden, whatever. It's like it's just the same game. If you want to aim for realism and do an open world game, it's going to look exactly the same as all the other games that aim for realism and do an open world game. And so like you have like these I don't know, deserts of stuff where you go out and hit things and discover enemies and hit them over the head and, you know, usual RPG stuff. But then you get to like a city or a hub and it's like, oh my god, they actually know what this game is, and that's really cool. And I like a lot of it. Like it's I'm not like upset by it, but it's just so disappointing that they didn't find a way to make the open world stuff more Final Fantasy. Yeah, like I think that's always been Final Fantasy's strength, is like having like a very distinctive identity when it comes to like art design and music and that sort of thing. And the music's really good, but like the deciding to make these open world sections does it no favors, because it just doesn't feel. It feels like I'm in a different game. And also, I don't particularly care for the combat system, but that's neither here nor there. It's like that action but with menuing thing that they've been doing since like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, the Kingdom Hearts system really, it's not my favorite. I mean, it was fun in Kingdom Hearts because it was so simple.
Exactly.
But then like when you have like an expanded system out of there, just like this is not the ideal. Just take turns.
Yeah.
Just make me take a turn.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like my hope now that like the Yakuza games have gone to turn-based and they've done so well. Like, I hope that means that people can be like, oh, we can do turn-based, like, or go full action. You know, give me like, you know, don't expect me to have a dodge and parry mechanic and have to go into a menu. I don't want to do that. Yeah. Like, give me do one or the other.
I actually didn't mind that in 15. I didn't mind that. Like, I liked the combat flow of 15. Very nice, where it did like a very slow down turn-based style, you know, tactical mode kind of to it in action. I think there's a way you can do it, but I'm really happy to see people are going back to turn-based, rediscovering a love of it.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be a bad thing. You know, I just the same way I kind of want, like, I know there was like this thing where every RPG has to be fully voice acted.
Doesn't have to be.
No, if you're going to give me a side quest where some guy's going to be like,
find
you know,
the milk.
go deliver medicine. Yeah, exactly. Go deliver medicine to my aunt in the hills. I can just read that. I don't need to have the cutscene happen.
They need to get Tom Cruise to ask for that milk.
Well, the other thing is also like they still like cheap out on the NPC models, like which I don't care about. Like, you know, rando in town, quest giver, I don't care that they don't need to look cool. But then they do the cutscene, and there's like, you know, 8 gajillion polygons of Cloud and Tifa, and then there's like a guy who looks like he's in the background of a PS3 golf game, giving them, and I'm like, don't. As far as graphics are concerned, I haven't had any problems with crashing or graphical glitches. It's running just fine for me. Nice. I'm playing on a RTX 2000 series, so nothing fancy, but I have the graphics set to medium high, and I can like on high I can get like 40 FPS, and on medium I can get 60, so I've kind of split the difference there. But I haven't had any crashes or any of the other things I've seen on some of the complaints on Steam. So if you have a potato like mine, then you probably, or a mid-tier potato, a potato that hasn't gone off yet, it runs just fine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. What have you been playing, Marcus?
Nothing really, just the Squeeze. That's the only thing I've really played since the last.
How many hours did you put in?
Not that much. I just had
8.5.
Yeah.
That's not that
20
long.
hours.
Look, I've seen some of your guys' game times. All right.
Hey, mine aren't
Steam
that crazy.
Don't lie. Steam don't lie.
Mine.
Yeah, no.
Mine aren't that crazy.
Mine are. Yours
are
pretty crazy.
My
Yeah, for
biggest one is,
Crusader
like,
Kings and stuff. Like, it's
Their games have been out for a long time.
the latest Crusader Kings hasn't even been out that long, and I feel like you probably have over
played it
1,000
longer than it's
hours.
been out.
Yeah.
In the latest Crusader Kings, let me look. So Crusader Kings 3, which came out 2 years ago, I have 240 hours in.
Okay, that's not too bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, no, that came out 4 years ago. Sorry, came out over 4 years.
Oh my
ago.
god, that's forever ago.
Yeah, so that's only 60 hours a year. So that's not that bad. Crusader Kings 2, on the other hand, I have almost 1,000 hours in. Although I haven't played it since Crusader Kings 3 came out.
Yeah, that's crazy. See, like mine is Elden Ring, and it's just over 550 hours. That's not that bad.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games over 500.
Dang,
I only have 2 over 500. It's that and Ark Survival Evolved. But I was running a server, like a private server for some of that.
Almost
so,
was
yeah.
having it not on. Yeah.
Then it's Sea of Thieves. Then Fallout 4.
Yeah, mine's Crusader Kings 2, Fallout 4, Stellaris, Civ 6, Skyrim, Witcher 3, City Skylines. The first one.
I don't even know how to check.
If you go to your profile,
check for
and then
you.
you can go to games.
I'll-
Yeah,
I'll
that's true.
just-
You can
I'll
also
just
look
check
at your
for you.
friends.
I'll just find
Shame.
you. Let me see here.
Quick,
Shame
Marcus,
you
go
real quick.
hide all your adult games.
No, not my Orc Smasher.
It's Orc
So
Massage.
your most played game is Final Fantasy VII with 812 hours,
That's a
Marcus.
lot.
Oh, yeah, brother.
That's a lot. Good on you, man. I'm
I love
proud
that
of you.
That is, according to the
And
achievements, you have
represent.
never beaten it.
No, I don't. I always get to the last save crystal. I'm like, I want to just go dick around.
You have
I thought
you've
you were
never
gonna say,
gotten
I just
Barrett's.
want to start over.
You haven't even beaten the weapons. You've beaten like 2 of the weapons. You haven't gotten anyone's final limit breaks
Yeah.
or Night of the Round.
Nope. I don't give a fuck about goddamn breeding chocobo, dude.
Casual.
Not casual. 812 hours.
Casual.
Totally casual.
Yeah, 812
Do you
hours.
even
of casual
like Final
gameplay.
Fantasy VII?
No, I hate it.
Good God. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned Jedi Survivor earlier for something I've been playing. I also have picked up Outlaws again because I heard they fixed some of their graphical issues. It still doesn't run very well. Like with my RTX 3080, I still can't run it in anything above medium, or all the
Yeah.
textures and meshes just like go away and everything becomes this flat, horrible look.
Yeah, I do want to do that game for the pod.
Sure.
at
Oh,
some
we can
point.
talk about it more. No, the game I was going to talk
Yeah.
about a little more in length was Dynasty Warriors Origins that just came out.
Oh yeah.
I've been playing myself some Musuo.
Smashy China game.
Yeah. Fucking up some yellow turbans again. It is.
Whoa.
Hey, it's fine. They call themselves that. It is such a fun game. I'm really bummed out, though, that the multiplayer co-op aspect of it does not exist. Apparently what they did in the last one was they rolled that out later as a DLC, and they're probably going to do that this time, too. Which really sucks because co-op is Dynasty Warriors.
Definitely a big
And I think they know that and are just kind of doing a bit of a cash grab by putting out co-op mode after as a paid requirement.
Yeah, I never owned Dynasty Warriors, but I played it a lot at like our friend's house because it always seemed like everyone wanted to play. And like it was just like a split screen co-op.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Like that was just a thing everyone did.
Yep.
I don't know that I would want to play it by myself.
Yeah, we had a massive one time I remember we had a massive D&D game going on with like 8 or 10 people. And what we do is broke it up into 2 groups. And while one group was getting run by the DM, the other group was playing Dynasty Warriors. And that was fine. Everyone was very happy.
Yeah, that's the way to do
Yeah.
it.
So, no, it's just a really fun game. You play as like the unnamed hero in this one.
Oh, interesting.
You're
Okay.
your own character that you create, and then you start with like sword, but you can change to different weapon styles as you defeat some of the known heroes of the Dynasty Warrior franchise. And
Yeah. Known heroes there's literally like 300.
I know I wasn't like Guan Yu. Like it's everyone's young, so like it's a young Guan Yu and Li
Sexy
Bei
Guan
and
Yu.
yeah.
No, like I don't. like Dynasty Warriors fans, it's like Pokemon fans, but like all the Pokemon look different, and like all the Dynasty Warriors characters kind of, to me, I have like sometimes it's like that guy's the guy with the big sword, and that's the guy with the beard, and that's the guy with the who's drunk all the
that's
time.
the fat guy
But
with
most
the
of the time I'm
claws.
like,
Yep.
and then this is this general of the Western Province, and this general of the Northwestern Province, and this general of the Southwestern Province.
Cow.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like, Cow you think would be like, he's like one of the most normal ass looking dudes, and you're like, oh no, he's not the drunk guy who swings around like a monkey.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay.
There's a mechanic I didn't play the last Dynasty Warriors game that came out, so I don't know if this is new to this game, but they've got this magic mechanic now where sorcerers on the field have set up these giant pots that put out a gas that create like illusions. So you'll have waves of these shadow enemies that'll appear, and they'll never be able to go away until you go find the pot, and break it. And I don't know. I don't love it because it takes you away from the battlefield for a little while. And when you're stressed with like, oh shit, well the generals have pushed through, and if they are defeated while I'm not there, then I've wasted 20 minutes. And I don't know. It's not that fun a mechanic, and I hope it doesn't become more prevalent as the story goes on. Yeah,
I'm sure it's gonna. They're not gonna.
and I'm sure it's going to, unless like I don't know. Maybe the next chapter. I just finished Act 1,
Just
maybe,
kill the
or
magic.
Chapter 1. Maybe Chapter 2 is kill all sorcerers, and then we don't have to deal with this anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely not like in video games where they build on these things.
No, I want a
Oh,
game
okay.
where it deconstructs it over time, and you get less mechanics.
That is one thing I like. I was thinking about the Arkham games, and I think it was Arkham City, where you run into like the guys with the stun batons, and you're like, oh, I fucking hate these stun baton guys. And then but then you get like you lock up all the guys who broke into the police station, and you're like, they're gone. I don't have to deal with the stun baton guys. And no, they just come back later.
Yeah, it's a real bummer. It's as much of a bummer as when you get the shock gloves in, was that Origins?
Yeah, that's
That was also an Origins game. Great. I love how all these things are naming their game franchise : Origins.
In fairness to Batman Arkham Origins, A, it actually is an origin story.
Whoa.
And B, it did it like 10 years before everyone else did.
I know, it's just those shock gloves. Once you get them, you're like, oh, well, the game doesn't matter anymore. Like, difficulty matters not.
Yeah. No. I mean, I don't know. My favorite thing about that game is just swinging around Gotham and Christmas.
Sure.
It's
That's
just-
delightful.
Like they do the Tim Burton style, like Danny Elfman Christmas, like Carol of the Bells. I think that's a lot of fun. I kind of wish that the Arkham games had like the education modes, like some of those Assassin's Creeds do, and they could just
It's
like
just a
have
tour
some
of
comic book
Gotham.
nerd talk about like, and this is a reference for Batman 357.
Didn't
or
they
whatever,
kind
you
of
know?
do that? Or no, I'm thinking of DC Online. The MMO had Booster Gold around, like talking about historical moments in the comic series.
No, and I think the Spider-Man games kind of did that with like the secret packages. They would kind of like, there were always like little references to issues, but I don't know if they like specifically said what issues or storylines. Not that that matters that much, but that was one thing I did like. And there was like, and it was also cool, just like, I don't know, that I've mentioned this before. One of my favorite things about open world games is being able to explore cities, and I guess this probably goes back to my complaint about the new Final Fantasy, although I am enjoying it. Like with Spider-Man, and with Arkham, like it was fun to go explore these places and find things from it's like, or not even little things like, oh look, there's the Baxter building, oh look, there's the Wakandan embassy, oh look, there's Doctor Strange's house, and stuff like that. And with Final Fantasy, you get that in the cities where I can walk in and be like, oh, this is the wall market guy who's always lying down, that's fun. But then when you get to the open world parts, that just stops, and you're like,
Just kind of empty.
just an empty field full of monsters.
I mean,
That
to
would
be
suck
fair,
if-
that was just Final Fantasy, though. Like, when you weren't in a
Yeah, but-
town, it was just an empty field full of monsters.
But it didn't look like all the other empty fields full of monsters.
Yeah, sometimes it was a desert skin to it, or grasslands.
No, you make a good point. I guess it's different because it's like
I get what
don't
you're
know. I don't
saying.
feel I didn't feel like I spent as much time on the world map as I do in these open.
It didn't
world
feel like
segments.
Discovery, like a world of Discovery, like where you wanted to go check out every nook and cranny on the world map.
I never did that. In Final Fantasy, it was like I just want to get to the next.
You never know.
spot.
Something's going to be secret. Maybe one of those patches of trees is a little secret.
Well, I mean, there was, but I already knew all the secrets
Oh,
because
yeah.
I had to get Yuffie and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to look
that
for
is-
Yuffie. Yuffie is like
You had to go into the forest.
yeah,
But you
that you pass
Yeah.
by dozens of constantly.
I know, but like just do it that first like trip. If you just stay out there until
she's also not guaranteed to pop up in the forest.
She's
And
not,
if you
but
don't know
there's
the
a
end,
percentage increase as you I can't remember if it's your level base or if it's like it's a level base. And it basically goes up to like 90% chance of encounter in a forest after like level like 20.
yeah, but at
And
that
yes,
point
do
you would
have
have
to
like
understand
played
the
so
conversation
much,
with her to
like
get her. But
yeah.
yeah,
But even that you can figure out.
yeah, trial and error.
But now the way they do it here is actually, I guess this is spoilers a little bit for just the early parts of this game, and also this only matters if you've played both Final Fantasy, the original, and this new one. But so the way you're introduced to Yuffie in this is instead of you giving mouth to mouth to that rando girl
It's
in
Yuffie?
Junon, it's Yuffie.
Mm,
So
that's
that
fine.
Makes a bit more
That's
sense.
fine.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, you don't give her mouth to mouth in this one. Some lady does, and you
You just are
are just
around.
also there. Yeah.
Cool. That's fine.
But, so
So yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I will say, quick note though, new Sniper Elite game comes out tomorrow. Well, in the like early release, it's gonna come out like Friday or something for the normal. Still haven't decided if I'm gonna pick up the deluxe so I can play it a couple days early before my work week starts again. But I'm very excited for that. I love those games. Now they introduced a fun mechanic in the last one where they did a Dark Souls where you can invade people's worlds as an Axis
interesting.
person. And then, so they're bringing it back for this one. And I got into the last one a little too late into the game, so there weren't as many invasions that would happen. So yeah, I'm very excited to get invaded. And invade people in this one. Mm-hmm. Do some
can
like
see that being
sniper,
fun.
counter sniper shenanigans.
Yeah, like a enemy at the gates kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Ah, such a fun movie. I mean, not fun, but good.
No, good.
It's
movie.
actually not fun at all. But
It's also actually not Rachel Weisz's ass, by the way. It's an ass double.
oh, well, that's disappointing. See, this is how we get such a long list of names mentioned within the pod. That's great.
Rachel Weisz's ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, featuring. That'll get the views up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a nice butt. Like, I guess it doesn't really matter if it's Rachel Weisz's or not.
No, I do appreciate a good butt.
Oh, sorry. There's one more thing I have to say about Final Fantasy. So you can ride chocobos around,
Yeah.
which makes sense, right? And the one thing about this game is that you have all your party members with you, but the other people who aren't in your party, but like the people, they're also there. They're just further in the distance. But they all ride chocobos whenever you get on chocobos. Like the chocobo appears underneath them, including Red 13.
Interesting.
They have like it fully animated for Red 13 to ride on a chocobo, and it's amazing. In fact, in general, there's like so many really awesome detailed animations for like a lot of little things. Like when you go to like the rest stops to like not save but to refresh, there's always like these little chocobos nearby, and they'll like mimic whatever you're doing. So like if you're resting, they'll lie down and sleep, and then they'll dance around, and it's very like it's very weird. Like there's so much attention to detail sometimes, but I appreciate it when there is.
Nice.
hell yeah.
But yeah, we should probably sign off.
Yeah, I think so. I gotta run into work here just for a few on my day off because
Hell yeah.
that's my life.
Yeah. Well, and, you got to record a podcast with us, which definitely wasn't an hour and a half of not relaxing.
What the fuck
for
is
you.
an egg?
Yeah,
Yeah, and also I made you play this egg game, so
I wanted
guess
to
you
play
could-
the egg game.
yeah. So we'll be back next week with another game.
Mm-hmm.
Probably something with a bit more meat on it this time, hopefully.
Yeah, it'll be like steak and eggs.
Yeah, we'll do that egg frying game. There's like that one where you have to fry eggs in the Arctic or whatever, and we'll do that one. Just keep on the egg train.
I like it. Keep this egg rolling.
Yeah. Oblong,
Don't-
uneven roll.
Stop.
What?
I said stop. Don't say that.
Oblong?
No.
What's wrong with oblong?
It makes him think about the Oblongs and how much he misses that show.
I've never
How
seen it.
horny he was for the mom in that show. Yeah.
I've been Mike. No.
I've been Marcus.
Oh, it's already.
And I've been tired of this shtick. Bye.
Bye.
I am the Eggman.
Yep.